and I got lost. And suddenly, it was like I didn't exist. And so they will kill us. It's so easy for you to date. They don't care. My financial situation went, and it's a big shocker for me.
Before we start the interview, if you want to know how to travel the world, live, work, and even retire abroad like I have been for the past 4 years, I've launched a brand new online community where I share all my experiences and provide free tutorials on how you can do the same thing and save over $20,000 a year while doing it. So check out livingabroadclub.com. The link is in the description down below. Let's go talk to RJ. Hi, what's your name?
This is RJ Inspire, or you can just call me RJ.
Where are you from, RJ?
I'm from England. I live in a lovely small city called Leeds, up north.
And what brings you down here to Istanbul?
Istanbul, I came to see the beauty of the country and more especially the history, because in England they always tell you that Istanbul it's not really part of Europe. It's like a Islamic country and so on. So I wanted to see what sort of Islamic culture or ways is practiced here in Istanbul. And I came here and it's a big shocker for me.
What has been shocking to you specifically about Istanbul?
What shocked is how friendly people are and how smoky they are.
Yeah.
These people, if you want smoke, they will give you smoke here in Istanbul, in Turkey. There's smoke everywhere. I was in Taksim and I made a mistake. I go there in the evening and the entire street, this busy street called Istiklal, was full of people and it was just covered in smoke. And because I don't smoke, I ended up with a problem on my throat and I had to get out of there.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't even spend long, but I can feel the actual, the discomfort in my lungs. So I agree completely. How long have you been here actually?
I've been in Istanbul now 5 weeks and I'm leaving next week. I'll be going to Nepal because I travel and I love making travel content.
You talked about traveling. When did you leave the UK? How long have you been traveling? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I've been traveling for the past 5 years because I gave myself 10 years, a decade, to travel the world, but then COVID hit. And so I was out of traveling for 2 years. And because you're off for 2 years, that means my travel now has been extended to 12 years because I missed 2 years.
I see.
So because of that, I decided, okay, it's better if I don't continue traveling during COVID, just for my own safety and to protect my own health as well, because I do suffer from many food allergies. So I decided not to travel.
Tell me about your travels. Which country has been your favorite for the past couple years you've traveled?
My favorite country has been Russia, because Russia is not only a big country, but it's got different cultures, different ways of doing things. I was in Chechnya and they loved me there, because I used to say Chechnya because in England we say Chechnya.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, but in Chechnya they pronounce it as Chechnya.
Yeah, it's the first time I've heard that said correctly, so thank you for correcting me and others.
Brilliant, absolutely amazing, because in Chechnya, even though it's part of Russia, it's like a little Saudi Arabia. The Muslim community there, they're very strict. I became friends with one Chechen guy, and then he invited me to his home, and then he was showing me around Chechnya. And because I'm a friendly person, I'm a people's person, I was traveling, I was going with him, shaking hands, waving hands at people and shaking hands with people, both women and men. And this Magomed, this guy, Chechen guy, and he said, Charlie, stop waving hands to women or shaking hands. I said, no, it's okay, they like it. He said, no, in Chechnya it's not good. I said, okay, so what will happen if I keep shaking hands with women and saying hello to them? And say they will kill us.
Wow. No joking around in Chechnya.
No joking around.
Okay. I understand. Now, I hate to bring this up, but it's a fact that we can't ignore. Has your skin color prevented you or caused you any trouble while traveling? Because as much as we like to believe racism is still a thing in the world, I don't want to heavily focus on that, but I would love to hear your actual boots on the ground experience of being black abroad in Russia or any other country. How does that affect you?
Brilliant question. I have seen a lot of videos on YouTube, and if I use those kind of titles, my channel will blow up like that. It's titles like Black Guy in Russia, or Black Guy in China, Black Guy doing this in Germany, in all these non-black countries. Those will get you lots of views, but it sends a wrong message, you know. I don't want my mother to look at a video one day and say, oh, why are you saying Black Guy doing this? Everybody knows you're black anyway, so why are you doing that? Before I went to Russia, I was led to believe that Russia is a very racist country. So I went there being very wary. So I was worried when I got there, and the first place I landed was St. Petersburg, and it was their winter. I did not know. Because I thought I could handle, because in England, the country is always cold, so you can handle the winter in England. And I thought I can handle that winter in Russia, but no, it was like 3 times the coldness of England. And I was in St. Petersburg, and I walked the city, and I kid you not, but this was the very first time for me being in a white country, in a place where there's so many white people, and nobody looked at me, nobody paid attention. It was like I didn't exist.
Yeah.
Whereas back home in England, if you are in the countryside and you're walking, people will open their curtain to look, and sometimes they'll call the police because, oh, what was the black guy doing here? What was this Asian guy doing here? And so on, you see. But imagine having lived like that throughout your life when you're in these white countries, and then suddenly you're in one white country and nobody pays attention to you or what you're doing. So I walked all across Russia, and one interesting incident was I was walking between Moscow and this little town called Stupino. I felt stupid because the town is called Stupino. And as I was walking, it was between 12 and 1 in the morning, and I got lost. And I was walking, and suddenly these 3 white guys passed me, 3 white Russians. They passed me, and then they stopped. They say, hey brother. I say hello. They say, let's go drink. And I said, no, it's okay, because when you're traveling alone, don't go and drink with young, strange people, because once they get drunk, they might misbehave. And I did not. And at that time, I thought, if I was in certain parts of the US or certain parts of the UK or certain parts of Germany at 12 or 1 in the morning, and I meet 3 white guys, I would have been attacked. In the UK, they would have thrown a stone or a brick at the back of my head and run away. In the US, they would have shot me. In Russia, they don't care. I'm not saying Russia is not a racist country. I'm not saying England is not a racist country. People make the country racist. There is no country that you can say this country is racist. There's no country that don't want white people, or a country that don't want black people. There are just a certain people in the community, a certain people in society, in that society, who might not like your skin color, who might not like your religion, who might not like your culture. So never ever say this country is racist or that country is racist, because I grew up with that oh, this country is racist, but then I learned that no, it's not true.
Let's see. Now, how do you support yourself financially? For 10 years you want to travel. Are you a rich man, sir? How do you make money abroad?
No, not a rich man. YouTube was helping before, but after a long time of not uploading on YouTube, my financial situation went. You see, so now I still get a little bit of support from some of my subscribers who are members. You know, those who pay membership. So I still get a bit from that. And at the same time, when I travel, I try to reduce my cost of living. So my cost of living is quite low. And on top of that, because I've got food allergies, it's like I can't eat certain foods. I can only eat fish or chicken. So I will get some of my loyal subscribers supporting the channel. And a few years back, I put out a book as well. I published a book on Amazon. So that book sometimes still get me a bit of cash. And then if I get stuck, my old lady will send me somebody. So
nice. Okay, we all need that old lady. Speaking of old ladies, what about dating and relationships abroad? What has been the experience so far? Tell me about all that.
Relationship abroad it's one easy subject. As long as you come from a different country, you come from the West, it's so easy for you to date. They don't care. You can be white, you can be yellow, you can be green, you know, you can be gray, and nobody pays attention to what color you are. The main thing is your personality. You see, what do you bring into the table? Are you a fun person? Are you an interesting person to be around with? Some women don't even care if you don't have money. Some women don't even care if you're not even good looking, or if you're fat or whatever. If you treat somebody with respect and you show them love, then it's all good.
Okay, any tips on people that want to travel and save money, or at least, not spend so much money? You said because your allergies and some of the ways you travel, it helps you with your cost of living. What are some things people can do to reduce that from just, spending a whole bunch of money while traveling? What can they do to save some money?
My best advice is, if you're traveling and you're on a very low budget, buy yourself a tent. Because if you don't have a lot of money, like if you're hiking, when you hike, you don't need money, because you're hiking in the mountains and there's no shops, nothing. So you definitely need a tent, because you cannot sleep on top of a tree. You cannot just sleep anywhere. Otherwise, there are reptiles, there are snakes and things like that. But a tent will protect you from these little insects and snakes and so on, but it won't protect you from very big animals. So if you're hiking, life is easier. But when you start traveling in cities, if you don't have a lot of money, you can find a good hostel. Not the cheapest hostel might not be the best. You have to find a good hostel. And I always advise people that don't book too many days in one hostel. Book 1 or 2 nights. Go and check the place out. If you like it, you can extend. Whereas if you don't like it, you won't get your money back. You lose your money. And if you can afford it, that's when you can rent an apartment or Airbnb, or an apartment from booking.com. If you get it from Airbnb, it's more expensive. If you get it from booking.com, it's cheaper. And if you get it from recommendations, word of mouth, that's even better. And the other thing, you can try couchsurfing. But if you want to be a content creator, a travel content creator, it's not a good idea to go and stay. It's not a good idea to do couchsurfing. Why? Because when you stay with somebody through couchsurfing, they want to know about you. They want to talk a lot. So you won't have time to rest. So they might talk to you until 1 in the morning, and then you have to get up at 6 or 7 to start traveling and doing all this. So it becomes harder. So sometimes stay in a hostel. But before you do that, work twice as hard and work like a slave and save the money. Because if you're going for traveling, you only need less than $2,000 just to start. You can get $1,000, budget it properly. And if you want advice on how to do that, you can send Alex on Living Abroad a message. You can forward it to me. You can send a message to me, and I'll give you tips. I'll give you these tips for free.
Okay, well, thank you so much. What has been like the worst country you've traveled to? A lot of people talk good stuff about different countries, but what has been your worst experience or the worst country you've been to?
It's a very interesting subject, but a tricky subject as well. You cannot mention the names of countries, because if you do that, some countries take it personal.
Yes.
And they might ban you from
Let me rephrase that question then. What has been the biggest challenge for you traveling?
The biggest challenge as a man, because you can see I've got mustache, I'm a man, and even though I shave, I went to one country and I was hitchhiking, because I love hitchhiking. That's when you learn about people. You learn a lot about people. And sometimes I stay in hostel to learn, but I don't stay in hostel for too long. I'll stay in hostels. After my experience, then I'll find an apartment and stay in an apartment. So one time I was hitchhiking within this one country. If you want to know which country, you have to send me a message and then I will tell you. But anything else I will deny, because I don't want to be banned from certain countries. So I hitchhiked, and I hitchhiked 5 different cars. And out of these 5 different cars, I think it was 3 or 4 of them. I'm going to tell you the story, but I'm going to try and make it very brief. The first one was a truck driver. He gave me a ride, and after a while he said, "Do you want to go to a hotel?" I said, "Hotel? What's hotel?" He said, "Oh, we go hotel and we have sex." I said, "Sex? You and who?" So you and me, I said, but there's no woman here. Who's gonna be the woman? Because I ain't.
Wow.
And they said, no, we can try. I said, no, so sorry, man, I don't do that. And then I didn't feel very comfortable to continue. So I told him to stop. He stopped, and I got off the car. The next one was a doctor driving a very nice car. He's driving, and then after an hour, he said, oh, my friend, you want to go hotel? I said, hotel? Why? What's hotel? He said, oh, we go hotel, maybe we have sex there. I said, oh, are you gay? And he said, no, he's not gay. He's got wife and children. But in his country, that's normal. Okay. I said, no, I don't do things like that. I don't do this man-to-man sex. I mean, I do have friends who are gay. I'm not against gay people. You know, I love gay people. But when somebody approach you like that, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And then there was a third guy. It was same thing. And then there's a fourth guy. And I thought, you know what? I'm not hitchhiking in this country anymore. And I stopped hitchhiking. Before I went to that country, I had a friend of mine, a Polish girl. When she went to that country, she had so many sex offers. And I thought that it only happens to women until I visited that country. And then it happened to me. And I thought, oh, wait a minute. There's something wrong here.
I think maybe hitchhiking is like a sign for an offer for sexual advancements in that country. Maybe, who knows, right? Different cultures.
Yeah, I think more especially in that country, or maybe some countries like that, because they just think because you come from Europe or we come from the West, it means we go both ways.
Yeah.
You see, but we're not like that. Not everybody's like that.
I understand. Okay. Any final words for the viewers that you want to share about your travels abroad? Any tips, advice, suggestions, or anything at all?
Well, the best thing I want to say is, if you ever think of visiting any country, don't just keep thinking it. Do it. You have to get off your backside and start traveling. If you don't have money, don't worry. Take a small bag. If you can't afford to buy a backpack, just get a small bag and get a tent or maybe a sleeping bag, and just hitchhike in your own country and learn how people live in the countryside, in the villages in your own country. Because if you live in the city and you go to the countryside, it's a complete different lifestyle. If you live in the countryside, the villages, you have to go to the cities. It's a complete different lifestyle, and share that with people in your country. And if you enjoy that, then you can start going to other different countries as well. You don't need a lot of money to do that. You can simply go somewhere for $100. You can go somewhere for $200. You know, you can take a boat. You can hitchhike to the neighboring country. If you're in the US, hitchhike to Mexico. If you're in Canada, hitchhike to the US. You know, if you're in Peru, you can hitchhike all through South America. If you're in England,
get out.
You cannot hitchhike because Wales is part of the UK. Scotland is part of the UK. If you want to go to Northern Ireland, then you have to pay to get on the boat.
Yeah. How do we meet even? Let everybody know how we even met up.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was scrolling through YouTube after uploading my video, so I just browsing, and they recommended your video when you've just arrived back into Istanbul.
Yeah.
And the video was like, I think it was a few hours, or maybe it was like a half a day old, and YouTube recommended it. And you were talking about being in Istanbul, and I think it was Taksim or something. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I didn't pay attention to that. I ignored it.
Thanks.
To close, I closed that browser. I opened another YouTube browser. They recommended me as the same video again, and this time, after recommending it, they even recommend one video of you in Dubai. So I thought, oh, wait a minute, let me watch this.
Okay.
Then I watched the video, and after that, I just had this thing in me that say, maybe you should do a collab with this guy, you know? There was this quick liking of you and your work, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna do a collab with this guy. And then I just left your comment to say, man, it would be nice to do a collab, which I normally don't do. And then you say, yeah, okay, let's go ahead, email me. And then I emailed you, and boom.
That's how we ended up here, right?
We just hit it off, mate. Absolutely brilliant. And this is my very first collab. I haven't done any collab with anybody. I was supposed to have done one with Bold and Bankrupt a long time ago, but then COVID came and so on, so that didn't materialize. But yours, it was amazing, and it's good because, you know, it's like we've known each other for such a long time.
Yeah.
Because we sat and we chat, and it's great, brilliant.
You know, I felt that way too. So that our video is coming up shortly on my channel, and hopefully soon on your channel when it's released. So what is your new channel going to be about? This YouTube or you're working on?
Yes, my new channel, because I really love traveling, right? My new channel, it's gonna be travel and adventure, and at the same time I'll cover a lot of lifestyle. So I might end up with 2 different channels. Lifestyle, which will be like a head and shoulder video where you sit and then you talk to people, you give them advice, inspiration, try to get people off the couch best, try to get people out of their comfort zone, out of the couch, out of laziness, you know, just to go and do something. You know, you can do a simple video talking about your life while you're walking, or while you're going to the supermarket, or while you're going down to the corner shop.
Yeah.
So
you're
that's
gonna
what I
inspire
want to
some
do.
people, right?
Yes.
I'll be sure to put the link to both your channels coming up in the description so people can check that out later on.
And by doing so, I basically killed my current channel, which is RJ Inspire, because I didn't upload for almost 2 years. I did not travel for 2 years, and I didn't see a point of just sitting down and making a sitting video, because that's not really my style.
Yeah.
And that style is not really geared to the current channel.
Okay.
And by doing that, the channel died, and I've been trying to resurrect it. I mean, Christians have tried to resurrect Jesus, and we're still waiting. So I'm not going to keep resurrecting the dead channel, because
I hear you.
if Jesus is not being resurrected, how can I resurrect a dead channel?
I agree. So got you. Well, RJ, thank you so much for this interview. I appreciate your time. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate you. Brilliant.
Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of RJ's story, his experiences traveling, anything you want to share. If you take time to write it, I take time to respond. And if you want to know how RJ and I are able to travel the world and still save over $20,000 a year, check out our brand new community, livingabroadclub.com, where I go ahead and share tutorial videos on how you could do the same thing. And it's a private setting with a lot of other people that want to do the same thing, so you can follow your dreams, follow your passions, and actually live, work, or even retire abroad. So check out livingabroadclub.com. The link is in the description down below. For me personally, traveling abroad has been a privilege. Right now I'm actually once again at the Sultan Ahmad and Hagia Sophia Mosque, because this place is phenomenal. There's so much history here, and it's a place where I can see other foreigners and where I can do my interviews, right? So check out those interviews as well. And if you enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share this video, and turn on bell notification so you don't miss any videos that I make in the future. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.